is going heavily involved. He's 100 targets. They're going to run the ball probably a lot. I don't think they're going to run it as much
Anthony Miller and Taylor Gabriel.
Yeah, those guys are going to take a while.
I think this is I don't think this is necessarily great value for Robinson. I think it's on par. But if you're comparing him to Golden Tate and Juju Smith-Schuster, I think he's the best value of the three, if that's what you're getting at. But I don't think this is like exceptional value for Allen Robinson. I think it's about the spot he should go.
All right, let me give you a reason to get fired up about Juju Smith-Schuster. He played 4 games either without Martavis Bryant or without Antonio Brown, and that includes 1 game in which Brown played about a quarter. And in those 4 games, we are talking 25 fantasy points at Detroit on 193 yards and a touchdown without Martavis Bryant. And then without Antonio Brown, 114 yards against New England, 75 and a touchdown at Houston, 143 yards and a touchdown against Cleveland. So 11 or more fantasy points in all 4 games in standard scoring leagues, 20 or more fantasy points in 2 of those 4 games. So that's a good case for.
And I'll give you two things of note. First off, the last game you mentioned was out Roethlisberger also. That was week 17.
Right.
Roethlisberger didn't play. He was 4th on the team in targets. So it was Brown 1, Le'Veon 2, Martavis Bryant 3, and Juju 4. Now targets per game is different because Juju missed time with the concussion, and I think he had the suspension in there too. So he missed 2 games. Bryant missed 1. But you have to assume that going into his second year with what he showed to close the season, he's probably looking at 100 targets. I would say that's about the ballpark. I would put him probably second on targets because I think he will actually eclipse Le'Veon Bell without Bryant there, because I don't think James Washington is going to get 84 targets over the course of the season as a rookie. So I think he'll be second on the team in targets. So I was initially worried about Juju being overdrafted with Bryant still there. But now that Bryant's out of the way, I think he's a low-end number 2 guy. I think he's probably the most aggressive on him. But round 5 to me is an appropriate spot for Juju, because I do think he will be better than what he showed over the course of the season with his body work. He won't be as explosive as we saw in some of those games, but there's a chance for him to be heavily involved in this offense. And as we all like, the Steelers' offense when everybody's healthy is pretty good.
I think his game is touchdowns. That's what it was at USC more than anything else. Like, he'd have plenty of big yardage games in Southern Cal, but I think that's where he comes into play, and that's what he did last year. Scored a lot of touchdowns.
All righty. So that is our Juju.
Well, he had big yards on top of the games where he scored touchdowns too.
Yeah, I mean, he was on pace for like 1050 because he played 14 games, 1,050 yards, right around there for Juju. Not bad for a rookie. Okay, guys. Here's an email. Email of the day is from Joey in Las Vegas. We're also going to spend some time today catching up on emails and voicemails. And the email was, Joey says, what are your thoughts on owning Josh Gordon and Jarvis Landry on the same team?
The friendship strategy?
It's not really the friendship strategy.
Well, I mean, it can be if you get them in good spots, right?
I think one of them has to be like outside the top 80.
If you get Josh Gordon in round 3, which if he has any semblance of a good preseason, that's what's going to happen. And Landry in standard leagues may fall to round 7.
I don't know.
I'd be surprised if he fell that far.
A little low,
but maybe it happens.
Maybe. He went in at the end of round 5. He went 58th overall in the draft week last week. Jarvis Landry. Can we just say we don't like the idea of putting Gordon and Landry on the same team?
I don't hate it in PPR.
Yeah, but then the capital's too much, though, because Landry's not falling in PPR.
Right. If I could get Gordon at the 3-4 turn, and I could get Landry in round 6, I'd be okay with it. Well, if you've got the 3-4 turn, then you've got the 5-6 turn. 10-team PPR league? It's a little too much.
10-team, maybe.
How about in an auction? I don't hate the idea of it. That's a team that's going to throw a lot. Their quarterbacks are upgraded.
How
Those
many
two guys are going to get a lot of targets.
How many games do you think Tyrod Taylor starts?
8.
Man, I go back and forth on this. I'll say 9. Their bye is week 11, so if they make the change at the bye, kind of makes sense, but I could also see Tyrod Taylor getting hurt in the first 4 weeks of the season. How many games does Hugh Jackson coach? I think he goes the full way. Well, then Tyrod might.
Keep in mind, in Buffalo, Tyrod Taylor, only one wide receiver in Taylor's 3 seasons had more than 613 yards in a season.
They never threw the ball in Buffalo.
I know, I'm just saying. Like, Sammy Watkins had over 1,000 yards at 1 year. But in that year, the number 2 wide receiver had 552 yards. So, I don't know if that matters, but that's a stat. It is a stat. That is actually a thing. Okay, we don't love it, Joe. Stats are things. News and notes. Deshaun Watson on track for training camp. Miami offensive coordinator Dowell Loggins, right? That's how we say
his
it.
Name.
Says he wants to run more 3 tight end sets, and they drafted a couple of tight ends, guys. What does this mean to you in Miami?
Is he going to tell Adam Gase to do that? Because he's not going to be allowed to determine what plays they call.
He's just saying what he wants.
Right.
And Adam Gase will be like, okay, that's cool. Here's what we're doing. It's like my kids are like, okay, first we're going to go get ice cream before dinner, and then we're going to go to an ice cream place for dinner, and then stop at the frozen yogurt place on the way home. And I say, no. We're going to go to the frozen yogurt place first. Then we're going to go to the first ice cream place for dinner, and then the second ice cream place is a little treat at the end.
But that does kind of make sense if they want to get Gesicki on the field a lot. He can't block.
He's
going to have to be a third tight end.
He's going to be just like all the other tight ends that we've seen, where they're going to play more as a wide receiver than a tight end. So even if they did use a wild, newfangled 3 tight end set, Gesicki's going to be basically the second wide receiver in those types of formations. Ugh.
Who has... Okay, we're just combining wide receivers and tight ends. Rank Dolphins pass catchers in fantasy points.
Well, they're better than Dallas.
No, I'm sorry, like rank them amongst them. Like Parker,
so like
Stills,
Parker, Stills, or Stills Parker. Really. Parker Stills.
Stills Parker for me.
Stills Parker, Gesicki, Amendola, Wilson.
I would guess that one of it, Wilson or Amendola, outscores Gesicki.
Yeah, I'll take Amendola over Gesicki, and I'd take him over Wilson.
Gesicki, is he a top 20 tight end for you guys?
He is for me.
Yeah, he's in the conversation.
Oh, right.
But not top 12.
No. He's not my number 1 tight end amongst rookies.
Now we have a report out of Denver. 9news.com says Devontae Booker figures to be the lead back going into training camp. What do you
Is that
think?
Mike List?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mike knows his stuff. That's interesting.
That's not a surprise, though. I mean, they want to see Freeman prove it.
Right. We deal
Yeah.
with this every year with
Going
rookie
into
running
camp.
backs.
Right.
Yeah.
I expect Freeman will prove it, or Devontae Booker will once again prove it the other way.
I see what you did there.
I think Booker's going to be great value, though, depending on when you draft.
As what? It's just a handcuff?
No, look, I hope Freeman wins the job. I hope he's the better running back there, but you know how some of these teams are. You know, they tend to be stubborn. And Booker coming out of the draft, what was he, a 3rd-round pick from Utah?
Yeah.
So the investment's the same? Same regime?
But he's
Terms
been
of
so
management.
disappointing for them.
He was disappointing as a rookie when he had a terrible offensive line and a bad quarterback in front of him. And last year, how much of an opportunity did you really get coming back from the wrist injury? We missed the first 4 games. So yes, he has not been good, but all he has to do is be better than Royce Freeman.
Yeah. He only had 2 games with double-digit carries.
You should absolutely draft Royce Freeman as a potential starter right now. But as we get closer to the start of the season, do not be surprised that Devontae Booker is the starting running back of the Broncos. That's all you got to look at it.
And Colts running back Nyheim Hines is going to play some slot receiver. They love the way he catches the ball, and we know Andrew Luck has a history of throwing the ball to his running backs. Oh, man, off the top of my head, I think Ahmad Bradshaw had 5 receiving
4 touchdowns, or 6 touchdowns one season.
6 receiving touchdowns. What do you think? Using him in the slot, is this the next Duke Johnson, Nyheim Hines?
Good comparison.
That's an interesting call.
You mean when they say they're going to use him in the slot, and they really don't throw to him very much out of the slot?
He doesn't have to wind up in the slot, though. He just has to be relevant coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, but possibly. I would like for Andrew Luck to throw a football.
Heath, are you wearing shoes?
Of course.
Are they the same color as the carpet?
No.
Oh, all right. Look from here like you weren't wearing shoes.
They look kind of like the color of the carpet.
Okay, good. Well, that's the most important thing. Let's do some fantasy combos.
Oh, wait, just Bradshaw that one season. 47 targets, 38 catches, 300 yards, 6 touchdowns.
What was it? Say it one more time.
47 targets, 38 catches, 300 yards, 6 touchdowns. That was Luck's MVP season, 2014.
Yeah, man. Nyheim Hines, PBI.
I don't think Hines is getting that many.
No,
Might
but
get
he
more
gets
targets.
38 catches.
Yeah.
How
That
much
should
did
be
Jacoby Brissett throw to running backs?
Oh, look at
Negative
you.
Nancy over here. Negative Heath.
He's
Hateful
still a
Heath.
football.
I guess so. It's not that important.
Where's he in your dynasty rankings? That's an interesting one.
He's higher than he should be, but we'll see.
We will see. Okay, now let's
we had a
do
pick. We had a
some
pick.
combos. Oh, you had a pick.
Would you like an update in our Dynasty League rookie draft?
Not really, but you're going to give it to me anyway. Go ahead.
They don't know who the first 4 picks are. Should we tell them that first?
Who?
In
Who
the
was first?
Dynasty rookie draft that we're doing.
Actually, yes, it's kind of interesting.
Of course it's interesting, especially if we're talking a little more Dynasty.
Saquon Barkley went number 1. Ronald Jones went 2nd, which was a little bit of a surprise.
A lot of surprise.
Geis went 3rd. Rashad Penny went 4th. And our most recent pick at number 5, Sony Michel. Chris Towers is on the clock.
Jamie, are we going to do the Dynasty draft like we usually do?
Oh, on Twitter?
Well, no, we usually do like a 10-team 3-rounder just amongst the staff, and then we talk about it on the podcast.
Sure, we can.
Yeah, we should do that, because I think Geis is really interesting because he does have, apparently, some off-field issues that made him fall in the draft, and does that scare you a little bit, investing an early pick in your Dynasty League on someone who has, I don't know, I don't want to say character issues, I don't know, but some red flags that make him fall.
Everything that I've read and everything coming out of Washington appears to be that it was just kind of talk more so than anything proven.
But
almost like what happened to Dalvin Cook last year.
Didn't he make the claims that people asked him inappropriate questions in his interviews, and those turned out to be, I don't want to say false, but not supported by any evidence?
That's what I'm talking about.
That's why he fell?
There's nothing that has been documented yet.
I think it was that he blew up on a team in an interview, right? Because of a question?
That's the first I've heard of that. So
there's lots of stories. He's fine. Don't worry about off-the-field concerns with Geis.
Yeah, I mean, there's, everybody from LSU, everybody from Washington says everything they've checked or hear about him or know of him seems to be fine.
Okay. So now can we do fantasy combos?
Sounds good.
Okay, great. So here's
another pick.
Here's some combo stuff. Here are some combos in. Okay, fine. I'm interested. In the draft that we did last week, would you rather have, with your first 2 picks, Antonio Brown and Keenan Allen, or David Johnson and LaShawn McCoy? Antonio Brown and Keenan Allen, or David Johnson and LaShawn McCoy? This was in a standard scoring league, so in PPR I think it's an easier call, but in standard, Brown and Keenan Allen, or David Johnson and LaShawn McCoy, guys? What do you think?
As much as I love David Johnson, I'd take the receivers.
Yeah, I think in a standard league, I might take the running backs. In PPR, it's not even close for me. It's Brown and Allen.
Yeah.
I think I'd take the running backs in standard.
Yeah, but actually, what's interesting about this, I guess this is just hitting me for some reason. In PPR, David Johnson and LaShawn McCoy could be 2 of the best pass-catching running backs. So I actually don't know that it's that much different. It is because Brown gets you... Yeah. Is it a big difference? Brown and Allen versus David Johnson and LaShawn McCoy. Dave, what do you think?
I'm not a big LaShawn McCoy fan this year. I think his situation's getting worse. He's getting older. I'm very nervous about a breakdown. He's somebody that I don't think I'm going to draft in any of my leagues. I love David Johnson. That being said, if I can get 2 stud receivers like Brown and Allen, I don't have to chase around other wideouts, theoretically, for the course of the season, because Brown and Allen should be able to carry me at those positions, whereas running back is deep enough where I can still find some guys that I won't mind starting.
We have another pick.
So I wouldn't necessarily, I wouldn't take Johnson and McCoy and then hope to get some receivers when I'm not happy with McCoy on my team. So it's not worth it for just Johnson.
Can I take David Johnson and Keenan Allen?
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
that's what most people are going to do. That's going to be the move: is to take 1 running back and 1 wide receiver, or 1 wide receiver, 1 running back, and then you've got that balance. It keeps you wide open for rounds 3 and 4 to go in any direction you so may choose.
Fantasy combo number 2. All right, I'm going to give you a tight end and wide receiver combo. Tell me who you like: Rob Gronkowski and Chris Hogan, or Jimmy Graham and Mike Evans. Rob Gronkowski and Chris Hogan, teammates, or Jimmy Graham and Mike Evans. Anyone?
I don't know if I'm loving Mike Evans as much as I did earlier this offseason. And I think Jimmy Graham has pretty much become a touchdown or bust tight end. So I might take Gronk just for the Gronk part of it, and then when Chris Hogan's healthy, I'll start him as my flex.
So
Yeah, I'll take the Patriots.
Heath, clean sweep.
It's a clean sweep, yes.
Gronk and Hogan, winners over Graham and Mike Evans. Final combo. The Jamie combo. Saquon Barkley and Josh Gordon, that's Jamie's team. Or Ronald Jones and Odell Beckham. So a running back and a receiver here. Saquon Barkley and Josh Gordon. Or Ronald Jones and Odell Beckham.
Yeah, this is tough because Beckham is my favorite player out of that group. But I prefer Gordon pretty handily over Jones, so I'll say Saquon and Gordon.
This is a no-brainer. It's Saquon and Gordon. Because
I don't think
Saquon's
it's a no-brainer.
got that
I don't
dominant
think it's
upside.
no-brainer either.
And I think Gordon's a risk. There's no doubt about it, but this head's screwed on straight. Fingers crossed that it is. I think he could have some very nice potential himself. And I love Ronald Jones. But to me, getting a guy like Saquon on your roster, figuring that he's going to be that 20-touch workhorse that we all thirst for, that's worth having.
Is Saquon... Okay, fill in the blank. Saquon Barkley's situation is blank. Factoring everything in.
Almost irrelevant. What do you mean by that?
Well, I don't know if he's in a good situation. I just don't...
Like, it doesn't matter what his situation
I mean, I don't think
what
it's
does he mean?
good enough or bad enough to change the outlook that much of a back as talented as he is. It's not one of the 5 worst situations. It's not one of the 5 or 10 best situations, certainly. It's just kind of... It's not going to change my opinion of him this year.
Like, barring any trades that could have happened. So let's just say he would have gone to Cleveland. I like the situation better just because there's not anybody to compete with. In Cleveland, he would have been competing with somebody or 2 people. Who picked third?
Jets.
The Jets? Yeah. That wouldn't have been probably as good as the Giants situation just because there's more talent around him with the Giants. So, again, if somebody would have jumped up to try and trade for him if he didn't go to the Giants, maybe that would have been better. Denver, you could say, would have been better. Tampa Bay, Indianapolis, might have been better. But as we saw last year, Leonard Fournette did not go to what we would have considered an ideal situation prior to seeing it. The offensive line had question marks. They added a lineman in the draft. The Giants had question marks. They added a lineman in the draft. They added a lineman in free agency. I mean, this line will be better. That's what a lot of people are looking at and saying not ideal. Schedule's not great, but Adam, you talked about this. The Jaguars' schedule wasn't great last year either. So I think you have to buy into Barkley being an elite level talent like we saw with Gurley is a rookie, Zeke is a rookie, and Fournette as a rookie. And they all finished 7th or better with Fournette being the worst. I think that's the floor is Fournette.
Yeah. There's no competition for Barkley. I wonder if he loses 4 or 5 touchdowns to Jonathan Stewart. That's all. I mean, Stewart's not going to play any role other than short yardage.
Yeah, I think that's fair, and I think he can lose a few, 10 to 15 catches because of Gallman if they want to keep him in that role too.
Yeah.
But you're still talking about a guy that should be in the neighborhood of 1,200 to 1,500 total yards and 7 to 10 touchdowns.
Giants play at Carolina in Week 5. That's the only game I'm worried about Saquon losing touchdowns to Jonathan Stewart in.
Well,
Just because former team back home. And that's if he makes the team.
And I just want to clarify, I was not saying the situation's irrelevant for a rookie running back. It matters a lot. I just don't think the Giants move the needle either way.
Well, I'll tell you what. I want to go to a Giants game. I want to see Saquon Barkley. I want to see Odell Beckham before he gets traded. I'm going to use SeatGeek to get there. SeatGeek, I've used SeatGeek actually for Giants games. Went to the Giants Bengals Monday Night Football a couple of years ago. That was a lot of fun, and I got a great deal on the SeatGeek app. Now, if you download the SeatGeek app and use our promo code FFT, you will get $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. So the promo code is FFT. You can go to SeatGeek.com, but I think the easiest thing to do is just put that app right on your phone, and within just a couple seconds, just a few taps, you can instantly find the seats you want. And SeatGeek saves you time and money by searching multiple ticket sites to compare the prices, find the amazing value, and every purchase is fully guaranteed, so you can shop for tickets on SeatGeek with confidence. Now, whether it's sports, concerts, a lot of great concerts coming up, everybody. Go to the Foo Fighters concert, for goodness sake. comedy, theater, whatever it is, use the SeatGeek app. I use it all the time. I recommend it to people all the time. It is outstanding, and the promo code is FFT for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Again, that promo code is FFT. Let's hear from the people. First, we got emails at fantasyfootball@cbsi.com. Then we got voicemails, 954-689-3199. Leave us a message, give us your name, and a fairly quick question if you could, especially if it's a keeper question. 954-689-3199. You give us a little greeting, like this one. Josh from a city between Richmond and Washington, D.C., Dave. Very specific.
Alexandria.
Hey, Tony, Steve, Bruce, and Peter.
Superheroes.
Always comic book, right? Yeah. Gents, I am considering trading up in my 12-team PPR league, where we keep 2 guys without penalty for 1 year. I currently have Zeke and Melvin Gordon. Beckham is available this year. Would you rather have Odell Beckham for 2 years, or stay put and take 2 of Mike Evans, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, T.Y. Hilton, Adam Thielen? Whoa. 2 of Adams, Evans, Allen, Hilton, Thielen, or just Beckham?
Stay put. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stay put.
Yeah, stay put. James in Topeka. Hey, Joffrey, Ramsey, and Tywin.
Wait, go back to that though for a second, because I think it's interesting. What if it was a different question? Because we've been talking about this a lot. So you have those 2 running backs. What if the choice was you can throw back one of those guys and get Beckham?
Throw back one of the running backs?
Gordon or Elliott to get Beckham. Obviously, you throw back Gordon.
Yeah. And then you take those wide receivers?
No. Just in the back.
Oh, just, okay.
You do it.
Yeah.
Yes. Heath?
Good question.
Yes.
You have
Good
Zeke and
answer.
Gordon. We throw back Gordon to get Beckham.
Yeah, I like Gordon better, but I think just getting one of those top-end wide receivers is more important.
Yeah. James in Topeka. Now he says, hey, Joffrey, Ramsey, and Tywin. Okay, Game of Thrones. You know, on the baseball podcast, we've been having a very nice discussion about the best villains. And today we got a vote for Stefano DiMero from Days of Our Lives, which is very funny. But it's my contention that Ramsey Bolton is not the best villain ever, but he's the most evil villain ever.
Oh, he might be the best villain ever.
I don't know. He's not quite a big enough character to be the best villain ever. Like, isn't Darth Vader a better villain than Ramsey Bolton?
Well, I mean, sure, but I think when you talk about what Darth Vader's done to people and what Ramsey Bolton has done to people, it's hard to argue.
That's true. That's why he's the most evil. But then I was watching a movie this weekend, Event Horizon. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. And then it has the actor from The Patriot, plays Tavington. Is that his name? The really bad guy?
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good bad guy. Underrated bad guy. Here's a question. 2 quarterback, half PPR league, 10th pick. Keep 2. Remember, it's 2 QB, half PPR. Jimmy Garoppolo in the 10th round, Aaron Rodgers in the 1st round, Zach Ertz in the 7th round, Kenyon Drake in the 10th round. I'll say it again. Garoppolo in the 10th, Rodgers in the 1st, Zach Ertz in the 7th round, and Kenyon Drake in the 10th. Keep 2.
For me, Garoppolo is the easy choice because you're still getting borderline top 12 quarterback in a 2-quarterback league. Knowing that you've got the 10, I don't know if I'm really gung-ho about going with Aaron Rodgers as the other keeper. Ertz is very interesting to me too, just to have that edge at tight end. I think I'd go Ertz and Garoppolo.
I'll take Rodgers and Drake.
I think I'd go Ertz and Drake.
Okay, well, good job.
But Heath, you're definitely team weight on quarterback.
Yeah, and I've always thought in the past, in 2-quarterback leagues, maybe you need to go get one a little bit earlier. There's 24 good quarterbacks now.
Right, but a lot of them are going to get kept.
Well,
this guy's
true. It's a 10-team league, so you can recover a lot. Rodgers is probably going to be one of the first 3 or 4 picks.
I don't know that it's a 10-team league.
I thought you said it's
a 10-team league.
He has a 10th pick.
It is not a 10
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's true. It could be 12.
Okay, so that changes things a little bit for me now.
You know, it's funny. I was going to go Garoppolo and Drake, assuming he
Drake to me is the easy one.
both
Without question.
guys in the 10th round.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, well, look, bottom line, you got some good options, James. So, Game of Thrones. From Robert, where's he from?
Columbia, Maryland.
Keeper league where the player I keep is selected in the same round I drafted him the previous year. Should I keep PPR, by the way? Keenan Allen in the third or Tyreek Hill in the fourth?
I love Tyreek Hill. I'm keeping Keenan Allen in the third.
It's not that much of a difference, so you take the better player.
Julian from Cape Coral, Florida. Hey, Royce, Ronald, Rashad, and Carry-On.
Rookies, rookie running backs.
Which two of those four would you want in a PPR dynasty startup? Rashad Penny, Ronald Jones, Royce Freeman, Carry-On Johnson. Which two in a PPR dynasty league?
First two.
Yep, Penny and Jones.
Penny and Jones, okay. Let's see what our next email is. It's from Taylor in Canada. 12-team standard scoring, keeper league. I can only keep 3. Who do you keep? Jamal Williams, 9th round. Hunter Henry, 9th round. Now you can only keep one of those two in the 9th round. Marvin Jones, 15th round. Alshon Jeffrey, 4th round. Marcus Mariota, 6th round. One more time. You got Jamal Williams and Hunter Henry in the 9th. Marvin Jones in the 15th. Alshon in the 4th. And Mariota in the 6th. Keep 3.
You know, I wish this league had a rule where you could keep 2 players in the same round and just one of them costs the earlier round. Because then I would keep Jamal Williams for the 9th, Hunter Henry for the 8th, and Marvin Jones for the 15th. But it sounds like we can't do that here, can we?
Yeah, I'm definitely keeping Marvin.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not keeping Mariota.
So that means you've got to keep Alshon. Ugh.
Henry for sure. Henry's
the easy one.
Yeah, Henry.
Henry, Marvin,
But
and
then you have to throw back Jamal Williams, which is easy.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point, actually, because, yeah, Henry in the 9th. We're cool
Taylor's
with that.
got to go to his commissioner.
What round does Mariota
ask?
6th.
6th. Ugh.
Yeah,
Just keep 2. Just keep 2. Just keep
could,
Marvin
I hope
Jones
so.
and Hunter Henry.
And then you keep your 4th round pick.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need to.
I don't think you're going to want to keep your 4th round pick. If I'm guessing other teams are keeping better players than this.
So Alshon could go before his
Alshon will
4th
go
round
before
pick.
the 4th round. If 3 people are kept by every team.
Yeah. He looks better today.
And a real quick question from Collins in a 12-team standard keeper league. He's keeping Le'Veon Bell Todd Gurley on a lifetime contract. He now needs to choose one of these two. One of them gets a lifetime contract. The other one gets cut outright. Le'Veon Bell or DeAndre Hopkins?
Okay.
I'm keeping Hopkins.
Yep.
Yeah, Hopkins. All right. Thank you for the emails, everybody. Let's hear some voicemails. Then we'll talk Dynasty. FantasyFootball@cbsi.com is the email address. 954-689-3199. That's the voicemail. That's the phone number, right? Am I saying? Here we go.
Hey Adam, this is Joe from Austin, Texas. I am your listener, yours and only yours listener. Who would you keep out of this 4? Le'Veon Bell, Devontae Freeman, Devontae Adams, and Mike Evans. Keep 3, trade away 1. Jamie, congratulations on the new kid. Dave, Thin Crust Chicago Pizza.
A lot to unpack there. Thin crust Chicago pizza is the best, Dave.
You know, there's started a conversation in Chicago about tavern-style pizza, which is basically a type of thin crust pizza. And there's really only one place for it. I don't have to mention it. But Chicago's known for the deep dish and the stuff, and that's what it's all about.
All right,
Thank you for the well wishes. I appreciate it.
Also very nice. Le'Veon Bell, Devontae Freeman, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans. We're throwing one back. Who's it going to be?
Do we know if it's PPR? I don't think it really matters either way, but that would help sway me
Probably
towards going
Evans,
back
isn't
to
it?
Freeman.
I'm throwing back Devontae Freeman.
Yeah, I think Freeman is the one who goes last in that group.
Heath, you're thinking Evans?
Yeah, it's clearly Evans or Freeman.
I think it comes down to scoring.